Sonnie Johnson asked a great question on Twitter that I want to weigh in on because I looked at the answers. It's a question I've been battling in my head about the mainstream media. I've actually converted to the phrase based on great feedback from Michael Malice, not to me specifically, but in general, he says I don't use the term mainstream media because it's not mainstream anymore. They don't have the viewers. They are corporate media, or you could even say state-sponsored media. Sonnie asked this question here. She says, okay, another area of confusion. Mainstream media is going out of business due to low viewership. I don't know if that's exactly correct. They're not going out of business because there's funding going on behind the scenes for mainstream media to prop them up. But I understand her point. The viewership is low on mainstream media, from local news to political shows, political channels like CNN, cutting people, laying them off, MSNBC, all that. You saw Tiffany Cross I don't know if they just fired her or didn't renew her contract. She's a hell of a talent, even though politically we don't agree. She would be expensive though. I think she should just go independent, but that's another topic. So she says that they got low viewership. The corporate media has low viewership, yet they completely control media narratives. How? This is a question I've been battling with over the last few months. It's a great question. So I looked through some of the responses, and I want to hear your response to crowdsource the truth. I'll go to mine last. So Roy says, they're just one tentacle of one big psyop. I agree, but that's not specific enough. They all got their marching orders via Twitter. It's not a coincidence. They all use the same key phrase when attacking conservatism. I don't think the marching orders maybe were promoted on Twitter, but I don't think they got them from Twitter to a large extent. So I'm like, okay, I got something to add other than that. ESG. Talked about ESG. Is that the reason? It plays a role, but still not specific enough. I'll go on to look at some of these other ones. Somebody said they agree my question exactly. This person said if you have to ask why, then you are also part of the problem. I have no idea what they're talking about. This is a great discussion, and I guarantee you Sonnie has some thoughts on it, but she's putting it out there for you to respond. I don't understand that question, that comment. Their business model, All American Barbarian says, I'm going to end with my thoughts. Their business model is to be used by the regime and confirm the regime's narrative, not to make money in the free market. I agree. But let me go to my thoughts, because I've really thought about this too much, in fact. But here's what I see what's happening here. When you look at the news and entertainment markets, they have been fragmented now. It's not the same as it used to be. It used to be you had cable TV or just regular broadcast TV and you watched what was on there. Now there's too many things to name. People talk about TV series that I've never heard of in my life, and I probably will never have time to watch in my life that I even find interesting. It's been fragmented among corporate media, YouTube, Netflix, all this other stuff. That's why there's less viewership, especially in younger demographics. People are just not watching that stuff. If you want to get real news, real details, it is solely on the internet. There's no corporate outlet that provides you any real news. Maybe you could argue Tucker Carlson, and let me know if there's any other outliers out there. Not that there's not good talent, but I think as far as real journalism, and Tucker's a commentator, he's not a journalist. He's just like me, just a talking head. The real news is solely on the internet, solely provided by independent type journalists. That's why when Matt Taibbi was chosen by Elon Musk, I think it was a good choice. I think he should have chosen somebody else on the right too, though, but not Barry Weiss and Matt Taibbi. But Matt Taibbi was chosen, highly respected, more respected than Barry Weiss, in my opinion. And the corporate media attacked him, saying that he was a substacker, using it as a pejorative. And those who are paying attention know that that's not the case. That means he doesn't want to be beholden to a certain narrative. So the real news is all independent online, but they are all withheld by algorithmic silos. So if you are in Substack, where do you promote your Substack? You promote it on social media. That's the natural place you would promote it. The gatekeepers are Apple and the Google Play Store. You go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, whatever these places are, they all have algorithms, even Twitter under Elon. So what I mean is, I did a video a while back that says, hey, if you are into discussing the laptop from hell, for example, it will only give you reach within other people who are interested in the laptop of hell. It's not giving you reach outside of that. You're not reaching normies. I've figured this out. It took me a while. A lot of you might already have known this, but I've only been in this game for about 2 years and red pilled. You are siloed. They are saying your energy that you've got, just video, is siloed. It's only going to go to certain people. It's not going to go to Mr. Beast fans. And part of that is just natural business. You're like, okay, Mr. Beast fans don't want politics, so I'm not going to feed it to them. I'm just using him as an example because he is promoted by YouTube. So they keep you siloed. And it's brilliant. It restricts your reach, and it also acts as a black hole. So social media is engineered on purpose, whether it's malintent or just business principles. You don't want to show somebody something they're not interested in. So you actually are talking to, no matter how hard you try, you're talking to an echo chamber. And you get censored if your reach goes too far. If they need to censor something about the pandemic or about a process of choosing officials to represent us, they will censor it, or anything else. That censorship is, to make no bones about it. They talk about advertisers. That's not the end game of the censorship. The censorship, because they could say, you can say it, we just won't put ads on it. It's not about advertisers. What it's about is, when there's different levels of censorship. They go to the level where we'll take the video down. What kind of sense does that make? You could just demonetize it like you do with other stuff. They take it down to make sure you do not resonate with someone to reach outside of your silo. That has nothing to do with advertisers. That's what's happening here. And if you break through that, what happens? There are only a very few amount of people that can break through these silos. We're talking about Joe Rogan, maybe even Tim Pool a little bit, Crowder even a little bit. They got millions of followers. If someone breaks through that censorship, so just to recap, Sonnie asked, how does the mainstream media, basically I'm paraphrasing, have so much power to control the narrative when nobody's watching them? It's because in these fragmented areas, nobody's watching those either. That's why. Nobody is not reaching anybody other than those who are already in that realm. If somebody breaks through the algorithmic and censorship silo, you can count them on one hand. They will get attacked by the government, corporations, fake activist groups, and the corporate media to get put back in their place, or to be decredited, to kind of tell them they are not legit. That's what's happening with, I keep bringing up, that's what's happening with ISOM. That's what happened with ISOM. You wonder why bruh just made a comic book. No politics in it. We know what his politics are behind the scenes, but there's no politics in it. They want to control the entertainment industry. Bruh made revenue 3.7, damn near 4 mil on the first launch of a comic book. Amazing stuff. And he got nothing but attacked for it by many people. So what that is the gatekeeping of that process. They are worried. This is what they're worried about. They're worried that Eric July will break through the silo. Once he breaks through the silo, it's over. You don't know where the revenue goes. You don't know where the reach goes, and you lose control of the narrative, because he's definitely not stuck into this NPC hive mind. So it's not just about news, it's about entertainment as well. And that's what happened with Joe Rogan. Same thing happened with Joe Rogan during the pandemic. You saw them, all of a sudden, everybody started talking about horse paste. And we know for a fact that's bull-ish. Why would you lie about life and death? Knowingly do it. You saw Joe Rogan get heated when he had, I forgot the name of the doctor from CNN on, who was saying all these things, and the doctor under pressure had to acknowledge, like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have been saying that. But who won that battle? They won that battle. Joe Rogan hasn't had one dissident medical expert on since that whole debacle. That's all it was for. So don't think that Joe Rogan won it. He's got millions of viewers. All they were like is, bruh, don't bring in this and start reaching outside of your silo. Same thing would happen to anyone, whether it's Bannon, Tim Pool. You've seen it happen to Tim Pool. They're scared that he might reach outside that silo, and then they put you back in that box. I'm going to end with this. There's this term called Occam's razor, and I think many people misinterpret it. So many people interpret Occam's razor is a philosophy term that they interpret it as meaning the simplest solution, the simplest explanation is always the right one. And I don't think that's what it means. More detailed. I understand why you think that if you do. The more detailed approach to it is never use more assumptions than needed to explain something. Those are two different things. Because if you look at the media and you say, well, Occam's razor, it's just a coincidence. That's the most simple explanation. That's wrong, in my opinion. There's nothing that I know, nothing that you watching this know, that they don't know. I am not ignoring the assumption that I am not the smartest person by far. Definitely not the smartest person in the room. They are way smarter. They're way more read. They've been planning this for years. I'm a newbie. I'm just catching up to this. There's nothing I know that they don't know. So my point is, I am making the assumption that they all know this, and that is intent. So the most simple solution is not, this is a coincidence. The most simple solution, I didn't even get into ESG and all the other stuff. The most simple solution is, this is an attempt to do something. That's a whole another conversation. I think it's to destroy the Constitution, to bring in a one earth government. But there is intent to do something, that to control media to do something. Let me know what you think. Am I just being crazy? I know I'm a mega MAGA man. Mega MAGA man. Jump on the website, middlemaga.com. Get this for your loved one for Christmas. I have one that just says MAGA man too, if you want that. Let me know what you think. Take care.